It's the final day of autumn. We have a fair bit of work ahead of us, and we are running out of time to get it all done. Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome to day 6 of autumn here on Seasons of the Valley. So, as I say, we have a lot of work that needs to be done. Take a look at our fields here. We have this field here, 6392, which needs to be cultivated. That has oilseed radish on there, and I don't want to take the risk that the winter will kill that before it gets cultivated into the ground. So that has to be done today. That is an absolute must. On top of that, we also have some planting work to be done as well. We need to plant on this field here some oilseed radish. We need to also plant on field 26, 24 and 25, and fields 2 and 6 as well. So we've got 4 separate fields that all need some, need a cover crop planting for it to then sit dormant over winter and then, sort of flourish in the beginning of spring to give us that extra stage of fertilization. This field has already been done. This is absolutely fine. We don't have to worry about 52, 51. 91 is growing. That's our winter barley. I think it's barley. Yes, barley. That's growing. That's at stage 1 at the moment, and as you can see as well, is already at stage 2 fertilization. That's not ready for another stage yet, so there's nothing we need to do about that. This grass field here, 62, still isn't grown. So we will not get any more mowing done today. Mowing is done for the year. I was kind of hoping that maybe that field would be done and we could maybe get an extra few bales off, but it's still nowhere near ready, and it's not going to grow in time now. So we do have field 83 here, which is our other sort of grass field. This one here is native grass, but is a workable grass field, so we can weed that and gain that an extra stage of fertilization. And 93 here as well, we could also weed that as well. Now they are low down on the list of priorities, and if it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. They're already at stage 1 because we mowed them, so if that means we don't weed them and then wait till spring and weed them in spring, so be it. We can't weed this one anymore. It's already at stage 3, and that's going to be absolutely just ready to go as soon as it grows next year. These two obviously going to need a little bit more work. So let's jump into our T7. Got a lot of work this thing is going to have to get done. We're going to have to do some serious planting to try and get everything ready. We're going to be doing that ourselves, and what I'm going to do as well, just checking my fill levels. I'm going to fill up just to be on the safe side. I'm going to hire a worker in the T6 and get him to start cultivating our oilseed radish. We all have to go in and tidy up after him and get the bits that he's lost and missed to make sure that gets done. But as I say, we've got 4 fields that all need a good planting. So while we're working on those, our worker is going to be working away for us, cultivating that OSR into the field. So I'm going to need a front weight. Let's get some lights on so I can see where I'm going. What's going to be enough? I think the small weight might be enough. I'm also a little low on fuel, so I suppose we better top that up as well, just to be on the safe side. I don't know how much work is going to be involved, but it's quite a big field, so I don't want that to run out while he's on the job. And you'll notice that we actually have a predicted really nice weather at the moment. We've got a nice big full-on sunshine, but we also have the moist crops or the damp crops symbol showing there as well. Now it actually snowed very briefly. It very briefly actually snowed on the map as I transitioned from day 5 into day 6. It was like a little brief 1-second flash as it did that whizzing through from skipping from the night through to the morning. I had like a little 1-second burst of snow, and then it disappeared again, and that's why we have damp crops at the moment, because of that little 1 second burst of snow. It is sort of a little ominous. You know, we had the sleet yesterday, which completely threw our plans out for mowing, and then you know, overnight we got a little brief burst of snow itself as well. Not enough to settle on the ground, but as I say, you know, winter is coming. To borrow a line from a popular TV show, winter is coming. And you can see we do have snow forecast on at least 2 days, and we can actually see the rest of the forecast for winter now as well. We can see day 6 there. It's going to be sort of a sunny slash cloudy day, a bit of a mixed bag on that one. We've got snow forecast for day 3, rain for day 4, and then snow again on day 5. So yeah, very interesting to see our kind of predicted weather ahead of us. Let's get this guy set off here. There we go. So our worker's going to cultivate away for us. We might pay a little bit more. Gee, he's too close to the tree line here. We'll have to run him manually down this part of the field until we get to the bit where it widens out. But yeah, an interesting forecast. You know, not as much snow as I thought we might get, but we are going to get some snow. And the main question is, how heavy is that snow going to be? Oops. I was supposed to hire a worker, and instead I disconnected the cultivator. Let's try that again. There we go. That's more like it. Let's jump back into the T7. Here we go. Let's go off and do some planting. Where shall we start? Let's see. These are all being taken care of. So I guess let's head up here. Let's head up to fields 2 and 6. We'll start up there. Need to slow my cruise control down again. There we go. I like to run at regulation traffic speeds on the roads where I can. You know, when I'm on private land like this, I'll go as fast as I want, but when I'm on the main road, I try and match the speed of the traffic where possible or where applicable, just to make things a little bit easier to deal with. There we go. So yeah, as I say, full day of work ahead of us, lots and lots to do, and some stuff that we would like to get done before the end of the day, some stuff we need to get done by the end of the day. So we'll push on, we'll get that done, and I will see you on fields 2/6 in just a moment. As we round the corner, we are approaching the first of our fields that needs to be planted today. So let's turn the beacons off. Let's put the full working lights on. Try and reposition ever so slightly. We're going to do a lap around the field, make sure we get that border done. Close the lid off. I didn't realise that was still open. We go planting our OSR on the field. So we still have some bits that can keep us busy during winter, but essentially we're not going to have a lot to do. We've got some wood that we can sell. We've also got, some wood that we can chip. We'll do a load of wood chipping over winter from some of those logs. We might sell a few of the logs as logs, but I think the vast majority of them are going to be chipped and sold over the winter months, with the price being as good as it's going to be. If we take a quick look at the predictions, you can see the wood chip price is going to jump up significantly tomorrow. Let's see what it's at today, actually. just out of curiosity. Wood chip price is currently 356 and climbing. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. So that'll be substantially higher than 356, I think, by the end of the day. We're getting a predicted price of over 440. Obviously, it might still be affected a little bit by that vast amount of wood chips that we sold a couple of days ago when we had that great demand, but you never know. We could see quite a nice price, and then it's just going to get even higher over the next sort of 3 days until it hits its peak, or predicted peak. Obviously, it's not set in stone that that is going to be the best day. They are predictions, those prices on the menu that you just saw, rather than confirmed prices of what it will definitely be. The market itself is still prone to fluctuation, and as I say, it could well be less than what's being offered, or what's being predicted as being offered. We'll just have to wait and see, and check the market on a daily basis, and sometimes on an hourly basis on some days as well, just to see its movement, whether it's going up or down. But yeah, we've got plenty of wood chips that we can sell. We've still got some silage bales left. Obviously, we did that last little bit of baling, and those bales are sat fermenting nicely at the BGA. So at some point tomorrow they should be done. So we might sell those sort of towards the end of tomorrow. We may leave those for Saturday for day 2 of winter. And of course, we have the nugget hunt coming up as well. In that particular episode, what we'll do is I'll run around, I'll grab the nuggets. You'll probably see me grab some of them. I won't make you watch me grab all of them, and then we'll start bringing in some of those new bits of equipment, and we'll also look at maybe purchasing those new fields as well. What I might well do is just hold on to the money over winter, and then buy those fields in spring. See if we can maybe even possibly 1 or 2 of them might need to be worked a little bit just to bring them down. But I think they're all ready. This one farmer owns the vast majority of the fields in the game. He doesn't own all of them, but he owns the vast majority of them. And I think he owns all of the ones that we're looking at purchasing. So, and if that is the case, which I think it is, then those fields will be fully discounted, and rather than kind of cheaping out and doing those initial stages as a contracted worker for next to no money, but not paying for the labour costs or the seed and fertiliser costs, etc., we will just do that stuff ourselves. We'll just buy the fields and go through every stage that we need to ourselves. We do have a few fields that we have in mind. We look at the main map, you can see we've got that block of 35, 36, 37 and 38 up in the top right area of the map. We also have field 55 just below the pigs. We're picking that field up as well. Those are the expansions to our land that we'll be adding as part of the gold nuggets, as discussed when we were harvesting this field. I talked about how we were going to be spending that money. But we're bringing in the T7, the second T7. We will be buying that over winter, so that we've got that ready to go in spring. So that when spring rolls around, we'll have a tractor that can do ploughing and a tractor that can do planting as well. We'll be able to split the load a little bit, so to speak. So our Blue Power won't be doing everything this next year as it had to this year. And then obviously later in the year, sort of summertime, we'll be looking to bring in the forage harvester so that we can do some corn chaffing for silage, and also at some point later in the year we can also then do our poplar harvest as well. We'll be planting poplars on field 55. That'll be one of the first things that we get done as soon as it gets within the sort of planting window, which I think will be pretty much, they're almost like a perennial planting. I think poplars, I think we can plant them pretty much any time of the year. I'll double check. There might be a small window when we can't. Let's just have a quick look. Planting. Yeah, poplars. Look, we can plant poplars all year round. Well, I say all year round. We can harvest all year round, but we can't plant it in winter. But everywhere else we can. So spring, summer, autumn, we can plant there, and then we can harvest at any time of the year. So we'll definitely be getting into some poplar work next year with our big New Holland forage harvester once we pick that up. As I say, that's going to be a summer purchase, so that we're not paying the expense of having that sitting around for 3, 4, 5 months, costing us money and not being used. You know, we've kind of gone through that this year with our combine. I don't want to have to go through that with the combine and the forage harvester next year. We'll wait until we actually need the forage harvester, or get close to needing it, before we buy that. We're making pretty good progress on this field, although we have been really struggling on this hill here, and it's made me wonder whether or not getting a second T7 is the right call. I love the concept of having a regular T7, you know, just a standard, you know, T7 heavy duty with 288 horsepower, and this Blue Power, which has 313, being slightly more powerful, and the slightly more powerful of our two tractors, you know, or our two T7s. I really like that concept, but given how much we have struggled on some of these hills, I can't help but wonder whether or not we should just spend the extra 30 grand and get a T8 instead. It'll give us 320 horsepower base power, so it'll be pretty much on a par with this one, but of course it will be upgradable, and we can then, you know, uprate that engine as and where we need to. And it's a very, very tempting prospect. I still, there's just this nagging part of me that says it's not the right move, and I'm just not quite sure which way to go. It's been bugging me. I've been going back and forth on this over the last few days, trying to think, do I go with the T7? I know that's what we talked about, and it's what I said I wanted to do, but like I say, I keep getting these nagging doubts in my head that a T7 might not be enough. You know, I was pretty much convinced it was going to be a T7, and then I saw how much I was struggling while I'm planting here on this field, and I thought maybe a T8 would be better. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. You know, I'm curious as to what you guys, you know, would think in my situation. What would you go for? Would you go for another T7, or would you go for a T8? I'm not going to say that your answer is what we'll do, because, you know, I may well just stick to my guns and get a T7, but I am curious as to your opinions. They may help sway my decision, so please do let me know your thoughts in the comments. I will take them under advisement, and I will make my decision accordingly, and once we get to the point where we have the money to spend. Put a lot of hours into this T7 this year. You see we're just past the 18-hour mark now, 18.1 hours. It's definitely been a workhorse for us. And that's something else we'll be doing over winter as well. We'll be doing maintenance on all of our equipment, not just our vehicles, but also, you know, we'll be looking to do maintenance on things like the seeders, perhaps, as well. I'm not sure if they are affected by maintenance. I would imagine they must be. But I do know for definite that, you know, the vehicles, you know, the tractors, skid steers, the wheel loaders, telehandlers, the combine, They're all going to need some form of maintenance, and it's going to range from a little bit to a lot, depending on how many hours we put on the vehicle. There we go, we finished this field. Let's get those working lights off. I don't even need the regular lights on anymore. Let's make our way across the top to our next field. Let's get our beacons back on. There we go. So we're off now to field 24, 25, and then on to 26 after that. And here we are. We'll actually do 26 first, seeing as we're right here. Might as well attack this one first. So once again, let's get our cedar unfolded. We'll do a border around the field. Start here. Make sure we tag everything. Oops. Just clipping the fence there. Still no word from Black Sheep as to any more details about when the update is going to go live on the map. Obviously they've become very tight-lipped now about their mods. Doesn't look like that situation is going to change anytime soon, although there have been varying different versions of the statement published on the website saying that, you know, mods will come out when they're ready. We will not be providing additional details anymore. That statement is now just gone completely. I just had a quick look on their website a moment ago, and there's just screenshots of the stuff that's currently work in progress, which is the Goldhofer trailer, the low loader trailer with the locking mechanism, the skid steers, you know, the small Massey skid steers. There is also the Rabode wood crusher, the large sort of hook lift one that we've seen in some of their videos in the past, and a placeable shed as well. And then obviously the final one is the man trucks. They are the 5 mods that are showcased in the sense that they are, you know, on the website with images, you know, screenshot images and links to YouTube videos about them, but that's it. There's no, you know, current progress on the mod. There's no, you know, estimated time of completion. Not even a statement now that says, you know, mods will come out when they're ready. It's literally just those images and that's it. So yeah, the website's gone through quite a few different little changes in that respect over the last, you know, week or two, since it all flared up following the release of the Liebherr 902 pack. And it's a shame that, you know, I would love to know at least a rough kind of estimate as to when we could expect the update to the map, because it'll help me plan our activities. And also it could drop a sell point that's going to get there are 2 sell points coming that we do know of in the update. One's going to be a root crop storage, well, not storage, but a root crop sell point, and the other one is going to be a grain sell point, which I think will be the one that's located at the garden centre in the middle of Villeneuve. It's just a garden centre. You can get pallet, not pallets, you can get fertiliser and you can get seed there, but that's it. But there is going to be a cell grate put into there as well, and turned it into an actual cell point for crops as part of that update. Plus, of course, we'll be able to remove the fences, which will make a huge difference. I really would love to see, you know, an estimated kind of, even if it's just, you know, it's a month away, it's 2 months away, it's a week or 2 weeks away, you know, from being ready to submit. Just something like that, just to give me a kind of a rough idea in my head as to how I can plan the changes to the map to what I want to do with the farm. But unfortunately, we're not even going to get that. Like I say, it's a shame when, you know, a small element ruins it for the larger, you know, the larger group. But that's what it is. It's me trying to just tack a piece I missed. It's just it's the sunlight shining through the trees. Sometimes these shadows do catch me out. But yeah, we're making good time. It's 9:15. We've already done one field. We're making good progress here on the second. We've got the next one right next to us, and then sort of a little skip over the road, and there is our next field just there. So we're actually going to get all of our sort of seeding done by early afternoon, it would seem. So we'll definitely, I think, have time to get our weeding done today as well on those 2 grass fields. Beyond that, I'm not sure if we will actually do anything further. We might just wrap it up for autumn at that point once the weeding has been done. I might get a slight head start on doing some of the wood chipping. I don't know. I guess we'll see how I feel and how long is left in the day once all the planting and weeding is done. So once again, I'm going to kind of skip ahead a little bit, and I will catch you up when we're starting on the next field. Helper K has finished his task. So seems to suggest that he's done cultivating the field. It's a little early to say that he's finished. There's going to be huge chunks of that field that we are going to have to do ourselves manually. I'd forgotten, completely forgot that we're going to have to go and tidy up that field as well. So a little bit more work left to go than I thought, but still, it's all manageable. We'll still be able to get it all done. And you can see the crop moisture symbol is still showing, so it's still waiting for that to finish drying out. And that's that little flurry of snow that we got overnight that's caused that. If this was a leftover relic of bad weather from another day, yeah, that would have dried up by now. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens when it does snow on this map. I haven't actually properly experienced a winter in seasons yet. You know, I've done a little bit of play testing and I've kind of skipped through certain bits, but I haven't really properly experienced winter yet. So that's something I'm looking forward to. We haven't got to wait long. It's going to kick in tomorrow, and it's going to stop us from doing any kind of field work because the ground is going to freeze up. I'm also surprised to see that most of these trees, if not all of them, still have a lot of colour. I mean, it looks like the bushes are starting to die now. But again, look, you know, I do a little pan with the camera and immediately I start drifting off course. Every time. This is a perfectly, well, I say perfectly flat. This is a nice straight flat field as well. No excuses. But yeah, you can see the trees still have a lot of colour. You can see a little bit now starting to die off a little bit. Some of these ones that were very sort of orangey red are now sort of almost going back to green in a way. It's not a permanent proper green change. That will, you know, those trees will die off. And perhaps the The slightly sort of yellowy brown trees aren't quite as vibrant as they were, but I mean they still look pretty good. They still look pretty colourful. I thought though by the end of autumn we might have actually seen some trees or some bushes actually go back to the state we found them in spring at the start of this series. But I guess that's going to happen, you know, over the next couple of days. We're going to start seeing that transition from leaved trees to dead trees. Well, I say dead, you know, bare trees I suppose is the right word for it. So yeah, some interesting times ahead. We'll just have to see what happens to those trees as the winter days and months progress. And there we go, we are done with this field as well, so we literally just have to hop over the road. We're going to be done by midday at this rate. This is insane how quickly we are getting through these fields. I thought this would take us longer than this. I thought time would move a little bit quicker and we would end up kind of just about getting everything done. I honestly didn't think we would be ploughing through it so quickly. I mean, that's a good thing. As I say, we have a lot to do. And if the weather holds like this, I may go and do a little bit of free mowing. Just go off and attack with a bale, you know, with our baler somewhere. Just see what we can create. Pull into this little construction area here. I wonder if something's going to get put in that area with the update. Maybe that's the area for the beet storage, who knows? I get the feeling, you know, based on the screenshots, that the beet storage is going to be somewhere near a Villeneuve, but yeah, you never know, something might be going in there. There might be some kind of building there once the map update does finally drop. Be interesting to see exactly what it is. Oh, I've just seen how low we are on seed. I don't know if we're going to have enough to get this field done, but there should be a... I don't know, this is either not turned on or it's not lowered, or both. There we go, now we're planting. There should be a seed placeable nearby. I think we have a sell point over here somewhere, don't we? Yes, we do. That is the sell point just there, actually. There's the farm in the background. You can just see the red barn. But there should be, I think, at that sell point, a seed placeable, if I remember correctly. So if we do run out, we can always go and top up just there. But yeah, another field to go, and it's not that big a field when you've got a 9-meter working width, so this shouldn't take us very long at all. I have just run out of what I thought at first was going to be seed, but it's actually fertilizer. I think you can just see, it might just be me seeing things, it might be a slightly lighter patch on that last pass, I don't know. But we're out of fertilizer anyway, so we need to go and top that up. I'm not going to need that much. Let's head over to the sell point. As I say, there should be at the very least a seed tower in here. I think there's a fertilizer fill point here as well. Yes, there we go at the back, look. seed and fertilizer. Excellent. So we're not going to go overboard. That should be enough. We haven't used anywhere near as much seed as I thought we were going to use. Oops, just clipped the barrier there. Went through a little bit too fast. But now we can at least finish this field off. And I think it's just my mind playing tricks on me. I don't think there is a difference now. Look, it's the same. It would be substantially lighter if we were planting without fertilizer. So it looks like we just got lucky and it just ran out as we completed a pass. That could have been a little problematic if that had happened part way through. I wasn't even really kind of paying attention, and I just happened to glance at my levels and realised that we were pretty much out of what I initially thought was seed, but then quickly realised was actually fertilizer. But we only have, what, 2 passes, including the one we're on, and then this field is done. So, yeah, as I said, we're going to be done with all of our seeding by midday. That's really, really good going. A little unexpected, but we are going to have to do some cultivating. I have yet to see where the workers actually stopped, so, you know, we could have a little left to do. Odds are we're going to have a lot of the field left to do. It all depends which direction the guy went as well. I never actually checked that either. I just sent him on his way, and we haven't checked in with him at all in any way, shape or form since. So, yeah, if he went the wrong way, then he could have just worked his way quite roughly through a small patch of the field rather than doing a large patch of the field. So it's not as if we're pushed for time. I thought we would be, which is why I hired the worker. Turns out time is a luxury that we actually have plenty of this time around. So, let's have a look. Oh, I see. So he's parked there on the near the road on 63. So he'll have done a good chunk. He'll have done a very good chunk of the field, but there will be bits that we'll need to tidy up, and then bits that he just hasn't reached at all. Okay, so as you saw on the drive back, fair few little patches that we are going to have to clear up. It's done this bulk bit in the middle, but everything else around the edges still needs to be cultivated into the ground. So not too much work to do, but a little bit. It'll only take us a little while, and then we'll be able to do our weeding, and then we may have an early finish. This kind of makes up for, we've had a couple of late finishes before. We've had to work, you know, into the evening. Chance for our farmer to actually have a nice, relaxing afternoon. Let's tag these patches along here. I'm just looking to see. Is that just the grass that's there? Let's take a quick look. See if there's any little green spots along the edge. It all looks pretty clean. So yeah, we've got all these bits along here to do, look. And then this big chunk here, this big chunk here, then these bits along this top section here as well. So yeah, as I say, not too much to do, but we'll get it done. Would you look at that? A great demand for wood chips, and it's going to be at a much higher price than the wood chips that we sold. 454. Come on. Ah, wouldn't you know it? It's going to last for another 12 hours. Maybe we'll sell a few wood chips today as well. I don't know. Done a lot of wood chipping recently. We sold all of the wood chips here, about a week ago. And then yesterday we sold a ton of wood chips on Big Bud Farm. And now potentially here we are with more wood chip sales. I mean, 454. Let's see. We're expecting the price to go up to around 600 and something. But that's a variable price. This is 454. It may even go up. We'll keep an eye on it. If it starts to go up, then I may well have to actually start doing some wood chipping today rather than in winter, just to take advantage of that great demand. I won't get rid of all of them because I do want to try and take advantage of that really good price that we're going to get. But unless we get a great demand on that day, it is a price that is going to start dropping quite quickly. Whereas, we've got a good price now, 454, that's fixed for the next 12 hours. Oh, choices. It's a shame it's not a 24-hour great demand, because then I could leave it till tomorrow when the price will be even higher. And the great demand price will automatically adjust to reflect that. We have seen demands do that when they've been on a cycle that's gone through the start of a new day. Then according to the predicted prices, they've either risen or fallen quite substantially the next day while the demand is still there. That's what happened with our wood chips last time out, actually. We had a really low price on the first day of the great demand, but it was a demand that carried over till 9 AM the following morning. And it was, not substantially higher, but it was definitely higher the next day. Oh dear, sorry, my voice just kept breaking there. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that this doesn't go on. I mean, it goes on till 1 AM. Maybe we could do a brief spell of wood chips between 12 and 1. Let's see, what's the predicted looking like tomorrow? You see, it's looking much higher tomorrow. I think we'll do that, actually. I think we'll start winter. We'll start winter at midnight. So we'll have to make some wood chips and then store them and then just run them repeatedly for an hour and get a really good fixed price and just see how many we can sell in that hour between 12 and 1. That sounds like a plan. So there goes our late night, our early night. And it's going to be a late one. Maybe we'll grab a power nap. We'll see. So that's one field down. We've got one other that we can go and weed. Just got this little thin strip in front of me. Just about see it. In between my wheel tracks there. There we go. Right. So one more field to go. That is the field over by the pigs. I forget the number. 93. Yes. We've got 93 to do. And once that's done, we're going to go and make some wood chips at the sawmill. Stick them in the silo and wait till midnight. I'm looking at this field and I think this has already been I think I might have already weeded this field. I don't know if I can weed it. I'll do this little bit here in the entrance, but apart from that, I think it's already been done. Yeah, look, we're not having... I mean, there's this little strip here that I think I must have just forgotten to do this bit, but... I don't know, actually. I can't tell. The light is changing so much. I mean, even though it's only 2:30, it's starting to get dark. In some respects, the shadows are quite long. And I can't tell whether I'm actually... No, look, I am putting down fertilizer on this field. It looks really dark underground. I thought maybe... Yeah, I can actually see a very definite dark section there where I'm applying the weeding. So I thought this field was already done when I first arrived here, but it's not. It's just the angle of the sun makes the field look very different. And look how long my shadows are here. Like I said, I mean, it's only 2:30 in the afternoon. The sun's still out and the skies are still bright blue, but that sun is definitely a lot lower than it would normally be at a different time of year. And as a result, it's casting these really long shadows. Look at the shadow on that tree. It stretches across almost the entire field. That's huge. And that is that. We are done on this field as well. So I'm just going to drive straight over to the sawmill, and then we can use this to drive back to the farm later. Oh, actually no, we're going to need the T7's pulling power to pull the trailers from the silo to the sell point. So yeah, we'll go take this back then. We'll get everything sort of cleaned and put away. We'll take the T7 over and we'll start chipping up some wood. I'm going to spare you having to view the wood being chipped, and instead we'll go straight to midnight with hopefully a silo full of wood chips and an hour to try and sell them in. Okay, so I've done some wood chipping, which was interesting. As you can see, it's just about to turn midnight. We have 300,000 litres, a full silo, at a price of €466. Now that is about to take a bump, or it should do. It's gone to 429 and the demand has ended. No! No, 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 no. I don't believe it. It's cancelled the great demand because we've shifted to a new season. Oh, god damn it. Winter has fallen and animals need more care. The ground will be frozen and you cannot work your fields. It is time for forestry and ploughing snow. I can't believe my great demand cancelled. That was supposed to go on till 1 AM. Unless I miscounted the hour. No, it started at 1. We had 12 hours. It looks like it's just cancelled it because we've shifted into a new season. That's disappointing and a little frustrating. You know, I've done all that work for nothing, essentially. So, Yeah. Oh well, never mind. At least we have some wood chips kind of ready to go. We'll have to do some more wood chipping at some point through winter, but it's a bit of a sad note to end on, but that is it for the end of this particular episode. So I'm going to cheer myself up in the next episode by going on the nugget hunt and getting €1,000,000. Right, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more Seasons in the Valley very soon.